Hey guys, it's your boy Dolly, and I brought a calculator out for you guys. This is just a video as I get back into YouTube. And as I get closer to my destination, I kind of just want to share some thoughts and some comments about, just how things are going, how the world is going, and maybe some foresight to whoever can find these videos and see what's going on. So, New York City, I live in New York City. It's one of the most expensive places in the world. Basically, to live a good life, you're gonna have to be making like $150,000 a year, and you're gonna have to live. You're gonna probably have to stay out of Manhattan, right? And even with that, you're probably gonna be making like maybe even less. Let's just say you're taxed at that rate. That's the amount of money you're probably gonna see in your account year on year, or maybe even less, depending on the taxes, the tax bracket you fall in. Let's just say let's be more aggressive on the aggressive side. I mean, it might be a little bit under, but let's just say you're making $150,000 a year, which is what it takes to really be successful out here, and you're taxed at that rate, you're going to be taking home like $7,500 a month, right? Even at that rate, average rent is like 2,500, right? And eating out, just eating out every day, unless you cook, it's probably going to cost you at the end of the month, let's just say 1,200, or maybe even more. Maybe let's just allocate 1,500 for food, and then maybe $1,000 in bills. So, even at $150,000, you're only saving like $2,500, and then obviously at the end of the year, you're gonna have 30,000, right? So, in later videos, I'm gonna kind of discuss. I'm gonna go back to the basics and say how you get into stocks, the mindset and the thought process behind stocks, and exactly how you invest. But for now, for those of you guys in areas where you could make a lot of money, um, that's what you should be aiming for. You should be aiming for as close as possible in places like New York City to $150,000, right? Because that's basically the standard that you have to go for. Now let's just see how can we get there in New York City. What jobs qualify you? So me personally, I'm not a guy that's into. I'm not very big into what's the word? I'm not big into college. I'm not big into kind of the whole thought process of going to college, and then you have to be very conscious of which choices you're making. In terms of, you go to college, you have to pick something that's going to make money. You don't have to. You could do something and pursue something that if you have the support at home, but it's very difficult. I just believe my ideologies point towards money. Money is what I need to make, because I came here from another country, and it's like, school was not really something I thought about, because the student debt is insane, and then you have to survive at the end of the day, right? If you don't have anyone to support you, then you can't go to school. So this video is more so on the side of how to make it without college, right? So I would say that minimum wage without a college job is like $18, right? So the beautiful thing New York City has is that if you are, and this has been knowledge forever, if you're a security officer, which it takes no real skill or anything to procure a job, they're literally taking people off the streets. They're going to probably pay $18 an hour, right? So $18 an hour, you will be allowed to work unlimited amounts of hours. You could work 16 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then on the weekend, what I used to do is I would work a double on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. That's an additional 32 hours, right? Obviously, I'm not going to do overtime calculation. Let's just say it's all different jobs. Let's just say it's 3 different companies you're working for. Some companies will allow you to work overtime, which it will boost your numbers in terms of what you're going to make every week. But let's just say you're making 112 hours a week, and I know it's like, oh my God, that's a lot of hours. When you only have, in the week, you only have 168 hours. You're going to be working 112 hours, right? But hear me out, this is temporary. This is temporary, especially in New York City. I'm going to show you how to go year by year, how to boost your earnings, right? I mean, but if you're very young, or doesn't matter really, as long as you're willing to advance yourself. But the younger you are, the quicker you could get out of the system, really. So 112 hours at, let's just say $18, I'm doing bare minimum, is very difficult, but it's 2 grand a week, right? You're going to probably be taxed at the rate of maybe 67. So you're going to take home 1350 a week. And typically, uh, let's just say you have 50. Let's just say for the month, not every month has 4 weeks, but you're going to have 4 weeks, right? So you're a little bit off of the number we want, which we want to be making like $7,500 a month, but you're at 54. So that just means your spending has to be a lot less. So let's just say you do have an apartment that costs 2,200, right? You have an apartment that costs 2,200, and then you're eating, let's just say it costs like, you're gonna have to cut your eating down. Let's just say it costs 800. You're not gonna have a lot of bills. Hopefully not. Let's just say you have 800 in bills. So every month you should be saving at least 1,600 a month, right? So let's just say you do this for a year. Saving accounts reading 19,000, right? So how do you exactly invest this $1,900? Well, I would go, from security guard. There are many different routes you could take, especially in New York City. Uh, you can invest that $19,000, and you could go try to become an engineer. Or what I did before uh, I became a fire alarm technician, which is getting me the numbers I want because there's so much overtime. I became a fire life safety director. And how I did it with just security experience is basically you have to get involved in fire safety. You want to get it's called your fire guard license. That's the main thing you want to get. And you want to do some fire guard work, which is basically a lot of jobs where you can just, you're going to look and prevent fires. You're going to look to see on job sites where there is like an active threat of fire, where there is no active fire alarm system. You're basically looking to be the person that's going to look and see and prevent fires. And New York City is very safe in terms of like fire. There's so much regulation as to what you could do, and most people try to follow those regulations so that they could be safe. So when they do follow those regulations, it makes your job a lot easier. So let's just say you're a fire guard and you do that for 6 months. Basically, it will almost entitle you a bit to getting the fire life safety director uh, title. Well, let's just say you let's just say that's enough experience to qualify you. Then you got to go to school, right? So school would be, you'd probably do like a tourist tech. That's the one I like, because tourist tech is 100% online, and it's more expensive. It's gonna bring you like $1,500 out of pocket, but you anything that allows you to continue to work and study, you want to be a part of that because your time is very valuable. You have a quota to make, you have a standard to upkeep. So let's just say now you go through the process 2 3 years. Well, not even that long. It's possible this is going to take a year for you to get that fire life safety director license. So once you get it, it's probably going to entitle you to $30 an hour. And it's the same setup as security. You can work 16 hours a day. And this is how I was doing it. So you go 16 hours a day and you're going 5 days a week. And then again on the weekends, you come with 32 hours, right? And now you're working for $30. So your tax bracket is going to raise. It's still going to be like 0.64, 0.65, I think, around there. So now you are making 2,100 a week. You're working a shit ton of hours. You're making 2,100 a week, but you're making 8,700 a month, right? So obviously you're not going to be that's why I said the younger you start, this is the better it is for you, because within 2 to 3 years you could be up to $8,700, right? So once you're up to this level, this is where decision making happens, right? You may be tired now. You may be like, damn, I'm working too many hours. But at the end of the year, let's calculate. So I'm just saying on average, let's say your rent is like 2,200, $1,000 in bills, and you're eating out. It's like, let's just say 1,500 a month, right? So now you're saving $4,000 a month, And then now you are, this is discipline. This is the first couple years, you're just disciplined. You want to give yourself some time, right? So for this year, you made $48,000. So now you could decide to do this for 2 years, and then now you fall back to just a regular 40 hours. Now what you're going to do is you're going to invest this money to try to double your salary. What jobs double your salary? It's either you're going to try to become, it depends. Either there's a lot of options. If you like nursing, you could go and do nursing part-time. You know, you have enough money saved to go and do nursing, become a registered nurse. And you know, registered nurse is a almost unlimited amount of money because there's a lot of overtime in that field as well. But obviously, you're going to have to be taking a lot of, you're going to have to stay up to date with the flu shots, the vaccines, anything the hospital requires you to have to protect their patients, you're going to have. So that's what